Greetings. This video is for a lot of my friends that have been asking for a little bit more in-depth explanation and video of the arcade I've been building for my nephews. My name's Keith. Basically, I started this project for my brother's kids, nieces and nephew. Give them something that we used to enjoy when we were kids that's very rare these days, which is an arcade, except for this isn't any arcade. I have loaded this with about 120,000 different games, and I figured if I'm going to go epic on the games, I might as well go epic on the arcade and make it like something that we would have seen in like FunQuest and Bally's or something, or one of the major arcade centers when we were kids. So anyway, here we go. So this here is a bunch of vinyl work and stuff we did. My lady Michelle, she's the one that basically picked out what went where, and showing a bunch of stuff there. Then on the joystick, my nephews are big Star Wars fans, so we've got a Star Wars themed arcade center. I got Star Wars going up there, got Luke Skywalker over here, Millennium Falcon flying upwards, got Darth Vader on the outside of the wing, you got Wicket and Yoda. Then on the other side we got Leia. And so I did a ton of research on this before I even started. I just ended up looking out. I work at a hardware store, so I was able to get the wood and the materials at a pretty decent price, and I'm an IT guy, so I knew how to program it. So it was kind of the best of both worlds. Almost complete. The only thing that's left is we got to, of course, get the bevel around the TV. Unfortunately, my lady's down for the count today with some kind of bug, so that's not going to be done today. She's also doing some fantastic painting. She's still working on this side, but she's been painting all the Mario themed stuff. We got the princesses over here. It's a Goomba. Now I'll show you guys on the complete side. We got Toad, and he's all done. We got Mario. A fantastic job, in my opinion. I did the star, so you can ignore that. And then we got down here, we got Yoshi. And so, kind of explain this build. I'm going to throw you in the inside here, this wiring mess. Kind of explain what I was doing. So, making an arcade's cool, you know. But the hard part for me and most of the people involved with this project, my dad, my lady Michelle, and a couple of our friends, is I had to make this thing break down because it's going to be going 400 miles across the state to my brother's place. So this whole system is set up to slide into each other. Let's move this up to the back of the marquee. But I got these bolts here, and these secure the different parts to each other. So you remove those bolts, top pops off. Move the second layer bolts, bottom pops off, and it becomes 4 pieces. You got the bottom piece here, middle piece, top piece, and then the wings fold back, which was a logistical nightmare. So both of these wings fold back, and then this joystick platform slides out from the middle piece and becomes portable. So this thing breaks down into 4 different pieces. Because of that, wiring was crazy because I had to figure out a way to wire this in a way that you could pull it apart in sections. And so I found these awesome little clips. I'm going to actually manipulate one so you guys can see, but they're reusable. You can put your thumb in there and they come apart, and so you can take the cords out, and then when you're done, just clip it back together, and it's awesome. And so yeah, there's my ugly wire mess, so that's probably not what you're here to see. I'm going to show you, still have a couple things to do, of course. This wonderful hole down here by the fan. It's actually for the power button for the computer. You can see the computers right there on the other side. I'm actually going to fabricate a dowel, so you're going to have a little piece of wood that you're going to push in the hole, and that's going to turn the computer around rather than having to stick your finger in there. But it's got a little bit of a boot up process, and I kind of did this intentionally because I wasn't sure of the power grid that it was going to go on, and I wanted to make sure that wherever it went, it would be able to power up. And despite, you know, if they're on an older style house, it's only got 15 amps or something, because this thing's pretty close. It's pushing it. When I did the math, it was probably close to like 13 or 14 amps. So anyway, so it's set up on a power grid here. So you get this strip here. We're going to turn it on as we go. So you throw on the main power. That boots up the fans and everything. Also boots up the main TV screen and all the essential components, like the joysticks and stuff like that. So if I walk around the front now, you can see all the joysticks are lit. Next thing you gotta do, for now I'm gonna stick my finger through the hole and turn on the computer, but pretty soon it's not gonna be that way. And then individual components, turns on all the different lights and marquees and everything. Alright, now you guys can see some of the cool stuff that they haven't shown my brother yet. Like I made the stars so it's on fiber optics. And so it loads. You can probably hear in the background. Arcade's booting up. And there we are. I'm going to turn the sound down a little bit so you guys can hear me. So I did this in a little bit different way. So as you can see, this is kind of pulsing. This is a voice activated plasma tube that I had custom ordered. I was a little annoyed about it because I ordered 2 of them and only one of them came working. So we had to, at the last minute, design something for the other side, which I thought came out really cool, which is my lady came up with doing a diorama. So we decided we're going to stick with the Nintendo theme, and we made a Mario falling onto a mushroom trying to dodge a little plant guy. I think that turned out pretty good. And I also made it, since I had light activated on one side, figured I'd do it on the other side. So those lights, as you can see as I'm talking, are kind of pulsing. Now, one of the cool things that I did on this machine that I don't think I've seen anybody else do is, if you can kind of see under there, you see those rails of lights. And they don't do much as far as straight on, but if you look at the actual acrylic, it's hard to see on the camera, but it's very cool in person. You can see it actually shoots light through the acrylic and makes it so that you have this underglow effect. It also makes this Star Wars background a lot easier to see because it's black on black almost. So that's really cool. Now, I haven't gotten to one of the things that I'm kind of bummed about is test firing. I found out that this joystick is not active right now. It's not working. I've ordered replacement parts. They're supposed to be here like 2 days before Christmas, so this is going to be really close. But the rest of them seem to work fine. And I've loaded this thing with just about every game you could possibly imagine. You know, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, regular Nintendo, all the way through the Atari games. The only thing that sucked, about 3 weeks ago, I'd been programming this on one computer since March, and that computer crapped out on me like 2 weeks ago. So I had to do like an emergency transfer to another computer. And most of my stuff was successful, and unfortunately... let's go back. Unfortunately, my Xbox games didn't survive, and so not a big deal. I only had a few of them, but still, it was kind of. And then you can actually go into the menus on these different games. and all the different things you can do. Oh, hold up. And so I'm still working on getting everything set up. But yeah, it's fantastic backgrounds. I like this one. There's a couple different interfaces I found for this program. Now, one of the things that was also really awesome is the program that the operating system for this arcade is called Back to Sarah Linux. And there's a couple different ones out there. There's a Raspberry Pi one. There's a bunch of different emulator-like things. But the reason I picked this one was the interface was very easy to work. It was basically a plug-and-play situation. I didn't have to do a ton of programming of the controllers and other things like that. You know, you plug your background stuff, all my USBs and stuff, you just plug them in, they work. I didn't have to do anything extra to make that happen. But I was working on it, and I contacted them, and was asking them a few questions, and they realized that I also ran a band called Amshe, and I do some video, game music and stuff like that. And so they asked me to if I could make some music for their system, and I just happened. Oh, we're going into a game. Anyway, I just happened to have. We're gonna turn this down. I just happen to have already made the songs for my brother's kids, so I just submitted those 8 songs to them, and they loved them. So now my songs are actually an official pack of this arcade machine. And so let me back out of this real quick. Anyway, so there's that going on. Like I said, one of the things I've never seen in an arcade machine that I did is I put fiber optics in. So a lot of there's that strip I'm talking about at the back. I haven't wrapped it up yet. But I've done like background ambience with it. You can see inside here where I did the star. And then one of the things I haven't touched yet is I added a marquee to this thing. Well, originally I was going to do a 3D marquee, and I decided no, I'm going to do something a little bit more traditional. So I had a custom sign Vance Arcade made, and then these LED screens put next to it, which are programmable. I can put anything in there really. I've had Yoshi as he's on riding Mario there. I've had Goombas getting squished by Mario. I've had Pokemon up there. The program does tons of different stuff. But it's a cool accent. And yeah, so you can see the thing that I really like about this build is the subtlety that adds to the flavor. Like all the lights just have a little bit of a glow to them on the speakers. You know, you got your background ambience lights, which you can see kind of mix in well with everything here. Got my trackball, glowing lights, a little bit more ambience, and it all goes together really well. I also absolutely love the artwork my lady and her friends have been putting into it. You can see Boo down there. They're still finishing up the faces, like I said, on this side, but just a phenomenal amount of work into this thing. And like I said, biggest part of this build that nobody's going to see, but was really important, is it all breaks down. This thing breaks down into boxes so it can be transported and moved around. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I look forward to doing cool projects in the future. Take care.